Futures and forex trading contains substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please take a moment to review the full disclaimer. Hi, I'm Kevin from chartspots.com. In today's video I will show you how you can day trade using the volume profile and the initial balance. I'll show you my 5-step approach that I use daily to execute on successful trades. With a foundation of backtested statistics, this gives me a true edge in the market. Be sure to watch till the end, as I'm giving away a free report that contains many useful day trading statistics. Let's get this going. We're looking at the past 5 days of trading in the futures for the German index, the FDAX. So today I'll be walking you through how to day trade using the volume profile and the initial balance in 5 steps. The first key step to take is have a look at the context. Since we're day trading, our context typically isn't needed to be longer than a couple of sessions, as you hold the positions intraday. So it's important to have a look where is the market coming from, what's happening, and what is it trying to do. So if we look back a couple of days, you see that we were already here trading at all-time highs at the time. Yet on the 1st of November we gapped up significantly and had a follow-up trend day with this characteristic P-shaped profile. So price discovery was upwards, and only at the end of the session, or the second half of the session, we found our balance area where buyers and sellers were in agreement on price. So if you enter a new trading range, and after a trend day your primary expectation is a sideways day, which is indeed what we got. So to see how this all has evolved, what I like to do is draw a custom profile to see how the volume is building throughout the days. So on the trend days, all the volume is on top. Then the next day we confirm that indeed we have buyers up here as well. We basically filled in this lower volume area and confirmed that we had the buyers there. So for the next day after that, we started exploring prices higher again. So you see the volume adding. However, we did reject the higher prices and came down to test this high volume node and point of control of this time frame, and that's where we found support, and later in the day we retraced upwards. So this is the profile coming into the next day, which was today in this case. So we see we have a low volume node here separating these two high volume nodes, our point of control is in the higher end. So as we open, we basically opened, and now I will return to the normal view. So what you're seeing on the screen, this area is a profile for 1 day. So here you have another one. And the blue one on this side is basically the composite of all the days traded in this contract. So as you can see, the day is still ongoing. Now, the important thing here is that you've looked at the context. Based on that, you should be looking at what is my trade plan on that context that we're in. So we tested higher, found sellers, tested lower, found buyers. So given there is no specific catalyst, the main expectation would be sideways day, and then you have some significant levels to test, like this low volume node, like the POC of the prior day, which was right up here and where we opened. So once you have a couple of trade plans in place, can we up or down or sideways? I'm not going to go in too much detail, as that would take a long time for this, too long time for this video. So important with your trade plan is step 2, and then step 3 is knowing the statistics for the initial balance for the product that you're trading. So what is the initial balance? The initial balance is basically the first hour of trading, high and low of that hour. In the DAX we take the first 2 hours, as the first hour the underlying market is still closed and it's not considered to be significant in terms of price levels. So as you can see out of the gate, we're experiencing selling pressure. We immediately reject this prior day's POC. Given that as a context, you know that the statistics for the initial balance tell you that there is, in case of the DAX, and you can download my report from my website on this, which contains a lot of these statistics. You know that there is a 92% chance that you take out this line. So this line or this yellow line, those are the initial balance high and low. So you can see as it opens, it keeps track of the price until, in this case, 10 o'clock. That's when we define the end of the initial balance. So we see the selling pressure. You know the statistics is 92% that you break either side, and there is around 50% chance you break the lower side, and I believe 68 that you break the upside. Now note these are calculated statistics based on 6 months of trading sessions. So this is not something made up, it's actually tested. So knowing these statistics, you have an edge already. Now during the day, because you have a chance that the high or the low is broken, or even both, it's important, and that's step number 4, to ask yourself 3 main questions throughout the day. Who is in control of the auction? How good of a job are they doing? And in the end, what is the market trying to accomplish? So if I ask these questions, I come to my 5th step, and that is putting all these pieces together to define your risk and reward. So taking a step back, it's looking at your context, step 1. Step 2, look at your trade plan. Step 3, know the statistics for your product that you're trading, specifically for the initial balance. And 4th is the 3 main questions to ask. And 5 is to put this all together into an actual trade. So doing that last step, basically what is the market trying to accomplish, or who is in control? Let's start with that one. You see from the open that there is selling pressure, as we are rejecting the prior day's highest traded price. So we're exploring lower. A natural target becomes then this low volume node. We indeed find some support there, but that cannot break over this high volume node on the composite profile, and we have difficulty finding decent volume above the midline, which is this teal colored line. So this tells me that I should be looking at the short side. So knowing the IB is in, I can look for an area to go short. Can be either the mid or this high volume node on the composite profile. I can say my risk or my stop loss basically is this initial balance high, and my target is just below the initial balance low. When it is broken, you know it is very likely to be more than 3-4 points. So when you saw this first break, it was clear also based on the volume that we would revisit it again, and basically you can set your targets a bit lower than the IB, of course, unless you have a specific target you're aiming for, and then we come back to the context. Be modest, because in the prior day we did test higher prices, we did test lower prices, and today we're trading on lighter volume than the day before. So this also gives you an indication that even though we have selling pressure, it is not very significant compared to the past day, and we're still trading in the same range. So basically that is putting the pieces together and coming up with an entry which should be an area of interest, basically on the composite profile, or something, a significant area of the day before or of the current day if it's sufficiently developed. Come up with your define a clear risk or stop loss and your target, and let the trade run. And since you're backing it up with statistics, this is something that provides you an edge. And if as a trader you are able to look for a decent risk reward ratio, you will come out on top in the long run. So thanks for watching. If you would like to see more of this, please hit the subscribe button. If you like to have more of these statistics, I share a free report on the initial balance statistics, for which you can see the link in a few seconds. See ya!